Hello, hello. This is Daisy, a rescue dog coming from Indiana. And my name is Ruth Wall. And today we're going to talk about what are some safety issues that you want to consider before you start using essential oils on your little animals. Now, I'm going to set Daisy down because she doesn't know how to talk yet. Well, she sort of does, but I don't think you can understand her. There are a lot of things out there about how to use the essential oils for animals. But you really have to be concerned about the safety because animals are much more sensitive than humans are. And yet the essential oils have been used very successfully on a lot of different kinds of animals for a long time. And they respond the same way as humans do to the oils. Now you might ask yourself, well, how much should I be using? Most animals, because of their sensitivity, it's actually because of all the hair follicles that enhance the absorption of the essential oils that cause them to be a little more sensitive. So the more hair follicles per square inch on your skin, that's where you find that you have to be more careful. So you're diluting. That's the bottom line. What you use for a dog may not necessarily be what you use for your cat. And of course, what you use for your cat or your dog may not necessarily be what you use for any of your other animals, like a horse. So you kind of have to go according to size and body weight. And as far as the amount, you just sort of have to start very slow with very diluted amounts and see how the animal responds. Now, the feet application is usually good for most humans. But the feet application is really not a good place to start with your animals. Their pads, especially for dogs, are exposed to so many toxins every day. I mean, from floor cleaners to lawn chemicals, outdoor pollutants, air fresheners, all those sorts of things are contributing to making our animals toxic. So that's another whole program here to talk about, is eliminating those toxins in your home. But for now, we're talking about the animals. Because they have such an acute sense of smell, I mean, sometimes you can have cats in your home and you can just open a bottle of essential oil and it could be on the other side of the room and they can smell it. They can tell something's been opened. If your animal tends to shy away from essential oils, it could be that it's too much essential oil for them right off the bat. So again, if you're going to open the bottle, take one little drop and use a lot of carrier oil. Now, Young Living has a carrier oil called V6. It's a blend of a vegetable oil, and it is really good for diluting your essential oils because it mixes very well on their fur. Only pure Young Living essential oils, or anything, I mean, I just wouldn't even think of using any other essential oils but Young Living, should be used, because adulterated, synthetic, contaminated oils are just adding more toxins if you're going to use those on your animals. And you may not see them even respond to any of these oils being used in a positive way. Animals can detox very quickly, and they can make the animal actually feel worse. So that's why you want to consider using the purest essential oils. Diffusing in a water-based diffuser is considered really safe for most species of animals. I mean, even birds and exotic animals can benefit from these essential oils, but you want to start very, very slowly with them. If you're using a diffuser, you would not want a water-based diffuser. You would not want to use any more than 3 to 4 drops of the essential oils to start with, and maybe even less than that. Now, you know, cats can be a little more finicky than dogs, although I've met some pretty finicky dogs too. If they tend to gravitate towards the room that you have a diffuser, wow, you're ahead of the game with the cats. Now, to start with, I would take 1 drop of an essential oil. It's something that is very mild, like lavender. You put that 1 drop in your hand and then rub your hands together. Then, what little bit hasn't been absorbed into both of your hands, you can start by petting your cat or your dog. And very, very slowly you begin with that application. Then you want to watch how they react to that. You might find that they want to gravitate towards more oils. You may find when you're diffusing the oils, if your cat or your dog's in another room and they come into the room and they want to sit close to where that diffuser is, well then you know that that essential oil might be a good one to start with. Another good way to expose cats to essential oils would be to set up a separate litter box and use an unscented kitty litter. Now, if you're using the scented kitty litter, stay with the same brand. That's the first thing, but get the unscented. Then make up a little mixture of 1 cup of baking soda and 1 to 3 drops of an essential oil. Let that set in a glass jar overnight, and every so often just go and shake it and turn it upside down. Now, you'll start with a very small amount of that baking soda mixture. Put in the kitty litter that is unscented and mix that around. I would start with just a tablespoon and see how the cat reacts. Now, you definitely want to keep your other litter box set up, because in the event that they don't care for that particular essential oil, you want to have a place for them to go to relieve themselves. Make sure that you're very, very careful and very slow about adding this mixture to the litter box. But if there's a favorable response, then I would keep adding another tablespoon and see how they react to that second tablespoon. So keep increasing it, but increase it very, very slowly. The one thing that you'll notice when you use a litter box that has the essential oils in it, because it's an easy way to introduce it to the animal the first time, that it decreases the chemicals that are really toxic in the fragrances that you're exposing your cat to by having a fragrant litter box filled with the litter things. Now, you want to rotate your essential oils to benefit the support of the animal. I mean, you can take the essential oils that we're using right now as humans, like the copiaba, which is going to support their joint health. You could take digize, which is going to help with their digestive support. And now this is that baking soda mixture that you're adding to their kitty litter. Frankincense is another good oil. Again, that's just protective health, whether it's animals or whether it's humans. So the choices are really endless as to what essential oils you can use on your furry friends. Just, kind of research what are you using these oils for as a human, and then you'll know which oils to use for your furry friend. Now, dogs seem a little more tolerant, and based on, again, their size, that's the sort of thing that you want to begin with as far as diluting your essential oils. But they seem to be a little more compatible with the larger animals. Now, many dogs are exposed to a lot of toxic chemicals, repeated vaccinations, or chronic medications, and they need to detoxify. Using diluted essential oils like lavender are a good place to start, because we know that these essential oils, young living essential oils, just clean the receptors of the cells in their body. Petting is a wonderful application method to put your essential oils on your dog. Again, you take 1 drop. You don't necessarily have to dilute it, but rub it in between your hands, and then just hold your pet and pet them on the top of their ears, under their chin, along the back of their spine, a little bit on their legs, and kind of the same way. Go ahead and try diffusing the essential oil in the water diffuser. Now, even horses respond to essential oils. Of course, young living horses that are on the farm, they have a lot of essential oils and supplements that are used on them. And if you ever had the opportunity to go to one of the young living farms, you're going to see those absolutely beautiful Porcheron horses, and they are the most well taken care of horses in the world. Now, even with horses, they love massage, they love to be petted, they love even the raindrop, which is one of those things that we'll talk about another time. But that's a method of layering the essential oils on their back, and they respond very well to it. I know several of my friends who have horses that have used the raindrop on their horses, and any time that they need a little extra boost, they have found that that has been a great method to use on the horses. I have a friend that shows horses, and a couple years ago she had found out that I use Young Living essential oils, and she says, well, let me give you a little tip. She says, when I show my horses, the first thing I will do is to take a drop of lavender just before we're ready to go out to the arena. She says, I rub that drop in my hands, and then I just hold it right over their nose. And then whatever there is left, I pet their mane and just run it across the back. They go out, they're calm, and they perform like no tomorrow. And she says, that's my little secret. So I'm letting you in on her little secret. Now, other ways to administer essential oils, you can actually put them in a capsule, just like we use the essential oils in the capsule. You can mix it with their food, kind of make a little gravy over their food if you want to. Some people will mix Ningxia Red and an essential oil with the juice and then give it by a syringe. And other people just put a drop in their drinking water and see how they do. So there's lots of different ways to get the essential oils in your animals, but the first thing is you're going to want to start slowly. Now, large animals, you can even, like I've seen people with horses, pull out their lower lip and drop the essential oils inside their lower lip. Because there's so many capillaries there under the lip, it is amazing how fast they respond, because those oils go immediately into their bloodstream. The oils have to be pure though. They can't be adulterated with any chemicals or solvents. And so you're not going to go wrong with Young Living essential oils, because they are not compromised in any way. They are the purest oil. Now, for applying oils to large, hard to reach areas, you can take a glass spray bottle and put your essential oil in some V6 carrier oil, Put that in a spray bottle and just spray that on the location where there's a large area that needs to be addressed. You can also cover the area with animal sense ointment. Now this comes in a large jar. Animal sense ointment kind of protects and seals the essential oils that are sprayed on the area, and it's safe for them to those to be applied to your animals. One of the things that you'll notice is that there's no right or wrong way to apply the essential oils. You just have to use common sense. You want to avoid the eyes. And just, again, watch how they respond. With Daisy, she was a rescue dog. So I didn't know how she would respond to me right away. So the day that I went to meet her, I just put a drop of lavender essential oil in my hand, rubbed it together, and just kind of rubbed it down my leg and on the top of my clothing and around my neck. When I met her, it took about 1 minute, and she was ready to jump up in my lap, and she was already giving me dog kisses. So I knew that this was the dog for me because she liked essential oils. So pure water for your animals is just as important as applying your essential oils. You don't want chlorinated water because that suppresses the thyroid and the immune function of animals quicker than it does in humans. So be very, very careful about the type of water that you're giving your animal. Quality protein, organic food, if you can afford that, providing some enzymes for your furry animal, especially for your dog, will help maximize the digestion and the protein assimilation, just like it does in human beings. So there are a few products that Young Living has specific for animals. And of course, the one that I love is the Animal Sense shampoo. The pH is just correct for their skin. It's going to make their coat shiny, and there's no harmful ingredients found in that product. Where a lot of the shampoos and the conditioners that are out there for animals have toxic chemicals in them. So just think, if you don't want those toxic chemicals on yourself, why would you want it on your furry animals? We talked about the Animal Sense ointment. Now, that is an ointment that is good for human beings too. I use it quite a bit. Being a surgical nurse, that was just the perfect ointment, kind of like a bag balm, but with essential oils in it. And I just use that every night. It's at my bedside stand, and that's what I put on my hands, especially in the winter time. I don't know about you, but you know, things can get a little bit raw sometimes, so it helps to have that Animal Sense ointment there. Now, there are a couple other things that Young Living has, and they have a line of essential oils just specifically for animals. Some of them kind of are explained just by the name, but I'm going to give you the names of the 6 bottles and the 6 blends that Gary Young has formulated for animals. One of them is PuraClean, so that's kind of skin, supports the skin. Mend Well, of course, you can kind of think it supports healthy skin and wound conditions. Infect Away pretty much describes what it does. Repel Aroma, you know, those little annoyances that come around our little furry friends, really good for that. Tea Away. Tea Away is definitely one of the essential oils that I took with me when I went to pick up Daisy, because that is more of a calming blend. So it worked very well for her. And then there's Paragize. You know, those creepy crawly things that you have to support? Well, that's what it helps with. And then, of course, the very newest thing that Young Living has come out are the Animal Sense dental chews. Now, this is a toothbrush in a treat. So if your little furry friend doesn't like to have their teeth brushed a little bit, or with a toothbrush or with your finger at all, just consider these dental chews and try that with them. It is amazing how it cleans their teeth. And it's pretty good breath too. You know, that doggy breath sometimes that you get. So anyhow, these are just a few little tips, just little ways to use those essential oil for your furry friends. And you have to be very, very cautious when you first start out. But oh my goodness, what amazing results that you can get from using these little essential oils with them. And it is amazing. You can make up little blends for them. Just dilute, dilute, dilute. I made some for Daisy that is a blend just to support her joints because she's a 9 or 10-year-old rescue dog. So when I get that little blend out, she just lays flat out and she really looks forward to that little massage. So it's a good bonding time with your animals, but it's also gonna help their health. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Feel free to message me if you have other questions. You know, I'm not a veterinarian, but I've had some experience using these essential oils on my doggies, and it's all been positive. So be blessed today and enjoy your sweet little animals. Bye-bye.